is Kevin.
And this is Lee.
With Seek Outside, we're going to go over backpack fit today. I know you guys hear a lot of terms, a lot of stuff online, all this. What we want to do is we want to get you the perfect backpack fit. We think our system is incredibly flexible, and you should be able to achieve a very good fit. And if you achieve a very good fit, it's going to be, if not the most comfortable pack you've ever had with any weight, it's going to be right up there. So anyway, let's dive in. First off, people talk often about torso size. Torso size is from C7 up here, which is the little bumpy part in your neck, down to the center of your iliacs. That is important because that allows you to shoulder the pack and have it centered on your hips where you want it. However, not everyone wants it centered on their iliacs. So, for instance, I have a 20-inch torso size, which is from there to the center of my iliacs, and I like to wear it on the center of my iliacs. Lee prefers to wear it a little bit lower. We have people around here that like to wear it a lot lower. I don't think very many people like to wear it above because it starts to get into the rib cage then, but that is a personal preference of where you like to wear it. On top of that, some people like to wear or have the frame down a little bit because they like to be able to reach back and grab bottles, and if they have shoulder flexibility issues and they're using water bottles, it's a little bit easier if they let it ride a little lower. So there may be any number of reasons why people like it to ride a little lower. Anyway, so you have the belt. The belt is on your hips where you prefer. We like to think about centering it on the iliacs when we talk about torso size. Have a harness up here. The harness, typically the center of your harness should be right around the C7 up here, although it's really not an issue as long as you have enough coverage right here and the placement up here is good. Then you have load lifters. You use load lifters to bring the load in and up, taking load off of your shoulders at this point. That's especially important when you're dealing with heavy loads. So, in the case, there's also, finally, there's frame height. You don't necessarily want too tall of a frame, but you want a tall enough frame that you can get sufficient lift for the load, but you also want to be able to move your head. So, like in your case right now, can you move your head pretty well?
Yeah, I can see straight up.
Yeah. So
look behind me.
So you would be good. Now, some people don't necessarily care so much about moving their head. I like to move my head. I think you can overframe yourself. You can always make it get off your shoulders by adding more frame, but I really think that you can overframe yourself at times, and as long as you get into this part of the ears, you're going to be good, and generally that's going to be 4 to 6 inches higher than your torso length, adjusted for where you like it to fit and adjusted for how you like it to ride. So in this example, I have a 20-inch torso, and if I have it wrapped, I can haul heavy loads with a 24-inch frame, no problem. I can use it down a little bit. We're going to go into these details a little bit later. Down, and I can carry really well with 26-inch frame. Lee likes to have the belt down a little bit, so he needs to kind of adjust on that. But let's just say Lee had an 18-inch torso, then his perfect frame height probably would be 22 to 24 inches, then adjusted for if he likes to wear it a little lower, etc. So, in the perfect suspension, what you really want, and this is a slightly different topic, but what you really want, you want this frame to be stiff enough for the load you're carrying. You don't want it to collapse under load, right? Once it collapses, it can no longer support load, keep load off of your shoulders. You want the belt to stay put, the frame to be stiff enough to support the load, to take it off of your shoulders. You also want it to fit your body pretty well. So Lee, your side profile here, you see this fits Lee real snug, so it keeps the load close to his body, so the load isn't out here swinging him all around. It also gives him a smaller profile for getting through brush or climbing, things like that. And then finally, if you can, you want the frame to kind of move with your body a little bit, which in this case, I think if you move and you got this locked down, you can see that the frame actually does move with your body. It's subtle, but it allows Lee flexibility to do things like, say, draw a bow or cross-country ski without any impingement based on anything like that. So going into the components, and we're going to cover each component in detail. In the components, the hip belt's job is to really stay put and keep it locked on your hips as well as it can, and to be comfortable and not cause any issues, comfort issues. Shoulder harness, its job is to allow you to shoulder it, get it to the place on the hips that you want, and then allow you to take weight off of your hip, off of your shoulders when you want. So, let's start deep diving into the other parts.
Cool.
So this is our belt. Our belt has 3 positions that it can be connected. Our standard position that we ship on is the first grommet down, where the frame hangs a little bit below the belt. This works really well for a lot of people. For me, this position works pretty good with a 26-inch frame. Some people want the frame to ride lower than the belt. So they want the belt in one position, the frame another. This might be to access bottle pockets, etc. The people that tend to like this seem to be a little more slender, have a little less derriere, but you can give it a try and perhaps it's for you. They also have a tendency to like a little higher frame height as well. And then finally there is wrapped, in which you wrap the grommet around and then feed this through. When you wrap the grommet around, you wrap it like this and you run this through, and you can actually wrap these 2 together and connect them all as one, so there's grommet on each side. It's real solid. That raises the frame up in relation if you like a high ride. That's my preference, although I'm fine with our standard configuration as well. In addition, our belt can be configured to be floating or captured. When it floats, it does this, it auto-articulates into your body. When it's captured, it does not. This is really personal preference here. For the majority of our users, floating seems to work really well. Some people prefer to have it captured. I actually like it captured with a lumbar pad, although I can use floating quite well, but I like it captured because it keeps it a little cleaner and dirt and stuff when I set the pack down. To change it from floating to captured, you take this frame hold down, it's back here, undo this buckle, and then put it over like this, and tension it tight. Now it's captured. So we're kind of upside down here, just because it's easier for us to work in this example. In addition to floating or captured, you can have an added lumbar pad. The lumbar pad has 3 different things of foam, and you can stuff it how you like. If you really want, you can throw socks or gloves in there if you're really trying to save weight. Lumbar pad can be attached to the belt if it is in captured